You ever build something so perfect, so hard-fought, you almost don't trust it's real? That was me the day we pulled our U-Haul up the long curve of our new driveway, 5 acres of pine and wild grass, sunlight spilling through the branches, not another house in sight. After years of city noise and battles with neighbors who'd call animal control if your lawn grew half an inch, I thought we'd finally made it out here beyond the reach of the HOA, finally breathing for the first time in years. Yeah, that happened. But if you think the suburbs are civilized, wait till you see what happens when a clipboard and a power trip show up on your porch. We'd barely unloaded a box when my wife Rachel stopped in the stone path, closed her eyes, and whispered, "It's perfect." My daughter Ellie, whose main passion is fast Wi-Fi, not forest views, stood frozen, staring down the valley like she'd just witnessed a miracle. Even I, cynical as a busted shovel, felt it. We grilled steaks, drank whiskey by the glass wall, and let the Denver static slip right off our backs. No sirens, no neighbors, just wind deer, and the sense that after a lifetime of fighting for square feet, I'd finally bought myself some peace. Well, peace didn't last past the first morning. I'm dragging trash bins down to the end of the drive when this woman shows up, blonde bob windbreaker, so pastel it could blind a goose, sneakers so white you could serve dinner on them. She moves like she owns the place, this strange sort of HOA wattle clipboard in her bag, practically bursting with rules. "Good morning," she calls, waving like we're at a country club brunch. I grunt back, "Morning." She introduces herself as Karen Wright, president of the Pinebrook Valley Homeowners Association, all teeth and perfume, and informs me my property, technically just outside the HOA line, is part of their broader safety network. "Yeah, okay, sure," I tell her politely. I'm not in her neighborhood, she chirps. "But your slope's vital for community safety." The smile says, "Welcome," but the tone says, "I own you." Later, there's a letter in the mailbox. Heavy, formal HOA logo shining like a cop's badge. Inside, pages of sweet talk about regional safety partnerships. Then the kicker, they request keys and codes to all my doors, garage, even the security panel for emergency access. Oh, and they recommend we don't move in full-time until we comply. I laughed so loud I scared Rachel out of her socks. "It's a bluff," I said, already pulling up the county maps. "Our land square outside their line. I knew it. I paid extra for it. No way in hell am I handing over the keys to my life because some retiree's bored on a Tuesday." I'm not kidding when I say I fortified the place. Smart locks, rolling camera feeds, two-factor everything. I drew the line in steel, not sand. For a while it worked. But one afternoon I come back from groceries and notice the living room lamps on. Nothing big except my system is set to only trigger with our presence. The ottomans move blankets out like somebody got cozy. I check the logs. Garage entry at 11:58 a.m. Supposedly I'm the only one with the code. My gut drops. I pull up the cameras. There she is. Karen. Same jacket, same smile. She strolls in, spends 38 minutes wandering my home, then leaves hands empty. On the counter, a note. Compliance is care. No signature. Just that. Rachel finds me staring at it, skin crawling. "She was in the house," Rachel asks. "Yeah." "And she had a code." That's when I tore out every access module, swapped every lock, replaced the whole damn system. Turns out her old company installed the first set. She was still tight with the security contractor. Conflict of interest. Try invasion of privacy. Ellie walks in, sees me up to my elbows in wires. Dad, you prepping for war? Sweetheart, we're just getting started." That night I nailed a sign to the fence. Private land, no HOA trespass cameras live. Next morning, torn in half, tossed in the dirt. But I don't scare easy. I hired a bulldog attorney, Keenan Wexler guy, loves gray areas, lives, to make HOAs cry. We go through the paperwork. My lot, clearly outside their reach. But Karen's got my property listed on their safety overlay map online for all to see. She even has a 4-year-old consent form from the last owner who, surprise, revoked it a year later on file at the county. Karen just Never updated her records. She builds the illusion of control hoping you'll fold. Not me. We sent a cease and desist, remove my name from your map, or see you in court. Meanwhile, I'm digging into their website, collecting screenshots, IP logs, every document. Rachel starts noticing the neighbors watching, standing outside cars parked sideways. Same faces every day. Neighborhood watch. Try neighborhood surveillance. Karen's crew swaps my sign for a new label. Uncooperative resident pending safety compliance. They're getting bold. That's when Karen calls the cops a welfare check. Next thing, I open the door to 2 deputies and a fire marshal. Karen, lurking behind them, face like she's at her own funeral. She tells them she had prior access but couldn't enter to check on the children. My daughter's in Salt Lake, my wife's with her mom, and I'm here installing a face scanner. Be my guest, I say, letting the cops walk through. Cameras are rolling. I ask for the body cam footage before they leave. Turns out Karen's been sending her own emergency access protocols to the fire department documents. She made herself branded with the HOA, but no real signatures, no legal standing. She's impersonating emergency officials now. We add that to the evidence. I put up a new bigger sign, private property, no HOA access, violators will face criminal charges. Karen responds with a sticky note. No need to be so hostile, we're just neighbors. I document everything. Here's the twist, I baited her. Set up a fake access panel with a temp code for HOA Safety Week. Rig the cameras, flag the IP. Night 3, 2:41 a.m. She shows up in a hoodie, gloves, moves straight to the panel, enters the code. Camera catches everything, her face, her car, even her phone's MAC address connecting to my network. This is an oversight. It's breaking and entering. Sheriff finally sees the footage, can't look away. Now it's not just a civil thing, it's criminal trespass. I launch a website, HOA Watchdog post, the timeline videos, every phony memo. It goes viral, 8,000 views in 2 days. Emails start pouring in. Folks from all over Utah. Karen did the same to my parents. She claimed we were in her zone. Turns out it's not just me. The local news picks up the story. A reporter comes out, sits with me on the deck. What does she want? She asks. Control, I say. She wants to play sheriff. The article drops. The HOA that claimed a mountain. Within days, my mailbox is yanked out of the ground. I bolt in a new one, steel black deliveries only. All else call a lawyer. The website's blowing up, legal templates, maps, court filings, tips for fighting back. Strangers print my sign, swap the zip, send me photos. Resistance becomes community. The case hits court. Karen's their lawyer in tow, acting like it's all a misunderstanding. The judge isn't buying it. We show the footage, the phony maps, the fake emergency protocol traced to Karen's laptop. Then the bombshell, a leaked memo, target properties for soft inclusion. My lot top of the list. The judge rips through her defense, asks, were you ever authorized to enter No, Your Honor? Gavel drops, restraining order, public apology, $240,000 in damages for stress legal fees, security upgrades. Karen's booted from the HOA within 72 hours. New board apologizes, sends a letter confirming my lot will never ever be theirs. And Karen prosecuted for trespass, impersonating an official, falsifying documents. Gets 6 months probation, banned from any HOA board in the state. Last I heard, she's off somewhere in Idaho running the beautification committee. I can't make this up. These days my fence is covered in fruit trees. Ellie's painting murals. Chickens clucking in the yard named Jurisdiction Probation and Karen Jr., if you're wondering. The sign out front says what I mean, no HOA, no trespassing. You want a key, take it to court. So here's my question for you. When is enough enough? How far would you go to protect your rights, your land, your peace? Have you ever dealt with an HOA or neighbor who tried to rule your life? Drop your story or your opinion below. Let's hear how you define justice. And if you know someone fighting their own battle, hit share. Maybe, Just maybe we can build something better. One fight, one story, one real community at a time.